Welcome everyone to the Crash for 20% on the PC. I'm Jordy, current record holder of the category. With me on the couch today are some fellow Crash legends, starting with CrispyTacoz, who holds second place on the category and the current console record.
Hi there, everybody. I am CrispyTacoz. As Jordy just said, I do hold second place on the PC and also a console world record holder.
Hello, everyone.
Next up,
this is Abdul. And I follow Crash 4 when it comes to mostly 106%, and I currently hold the, I guess you could say, world record for the max percentage category of this game.
And finally we have Murcaz.
Yeah, that's me. I play tons of Crash games. This included a bit, I don't have world record like the other guys, but I have a world record in other Crash games, and I play most of them, and I just follow the community very closely.
Okay, so without further ado, I guess let's get into the run. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So starting off in Rude Awakening, the movement of this game is relatively simple for a Crash game. It's slide spinning, which is quite normal for a Crash game. But in this game, you can fall into the acid like that, which I was expecting to happen. But
The first
essentially, yes. Essentially, the movement of this game is slide spinning quite fast, because it's actually faster than other games of the past in the Crash series, so you can press circle and square very quickly. But overall, yeah, you just want to get to the end as fast as possible and defeat the final boss. That's what we're aiming for here.
It's the fastest slide spin by far in any Crash game, I think, unless you think about tech and stuff, and even then I think it's the fastest.
I think the reason for that is because in this game, you don't really have a spin cooldown like you do in the previous iteration. So you could just continuously just press, slide, and spin and get the most out of your movement from that point on.
Yeah.
And grind rail section that you just see is something that will come multiple times during the run. It's kind of like a downtime. It's where most of the downtime in the category is during grind rails, I would say.
Yep.
Ooh, spider.
Oh, wow.
I kind of crept up on you.
It's the very first time I've seen that then.
I was wondering if when I lost that mask, I was going to get killed by him.
I've actually never seen that animation before. That was actually kind of interesting.
So about the masks in this game, if you guys don't know about this yet, or if you haven't played this game yet, most of the masks in this game in the normal pathway, unlike time trials, most of them are like troll-like places or troll-like placements. So even if you have a mask, it's mostly pointless at whatever certain point you are in the game. That includes checkpoints too, because sometimes a checkpoint might be near the beginning or just so happens to be right near the end, or also happens to be near a bonus round, which also counts as a pseudo checkpoint. And also for some of the major skips that you guys will be seeing more often in this run is the cutscene skips. A lot of cutscenes are in this game that includes the level entrances from the map, as well as the intros for each level. So these are just little short sequences that the game has that are also skippable.
And as you see here, so this is another addition to the Crash series, ropes here. Not one of my favorite overall, but it's definitely an interesting addition to the series. You could be seeing a lot of ropes also, along with the grind rail sections as you saw in Rude Awakening.
There has been ropes in other Crash games, but not to the swinging degree, actually. It's just been standstill ropes that you climb, so this is definitely a different type of thing, and they are kind of janky at times. Something I want to mention while we're at it is that in the beginning of the level, you saw Jordy just walk. He just slowly walked. He didn't do any of the movement, and that was for cycle manipulation a bit further up in the level, which I didn't follow if you got it or not.
I did. Essentially, you'd figure the rope later, and then you're able to cut the corner and catch the rope as it moves to the right.
So that's a really impressive cycle manip. And we don't have a lot of cycle manip in Crash in general. It's mostly just go when you have to make it in most cases. In the OG games, there are global cycles which you can manipulate, but not from what the four of us are used to. They are mostly set cycles.
Yeah, agreed. And that cycle manipulation there, it's a very, very small window for you to actually make sure your movement is tight for you to make that platform and jump onto that rope. And Jordy got it, so very impressive.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so coming up, we're going to have the second hub of the game, which is the Hazardous Wastes. And this is the engine homeworld. And you're going to be seeing a real grind here, which stays true to the name because there's going to be a lot of real grinding sections in this game. And we're introduced to our first mask here, which is Lonnie Lowly. As you see here, Jordy, as he's slide spinning, he is phasing the platforms that are highlighted blue in and out of reality, because that is this mask's power-up.
Right. Supposed to lose that mask.
Yeah.
So, in case you guys don't know about this game, the moral of the story of this game is there are 4 masks that are meant to keep the universe of this whole series alive, more or less. So the 4 masks are essentially, by name, are Akano, Lonnie Lowly, Kapunuwa, and Ika. The mask right here that uses the phase in and phase out mechanic is called Lonnie Lowly, and he basically
that'd be why.
nice inputs, by the way. So he basically uses the inputs. Oh,
That
playing
actually
at
makes
30 this whole time. Wow.
Apparently so. That would explain a lot. That made that much harder for me.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, when the frame rate is lower to 30 FPS, you are very, very prone to dropped inputs, and that's possibly why all the movement there was not as...
That's why that shark cycle was really hard to catch.
Yeah, and the sharks there also. Yeah. All right, so here is the aforementioned grind section. So this is actually a perfect time for donations if we have any.
We've got a lot of donations here, including a $75 from Unileska, who says, had to donate during Crash Bandicoot, one of my favorite games. Let's see that Hitman 3 run, which, speaking of our bonus game for Hitman 3, we're at $55,305 of $70,000. We're within $15,000. We're getting so close. Is there time for another?
Yeah, you got another second.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here is $25 from Ninpulk, who says, best of luck to Jordy with the run. I can't wait to see chat's reaction to some of the skips. This game has advanced a lot since its launch, so I'm excited for this game's potential to be shown at this major speedrunning event. Good luck, and I know you'll nail those tricks, no problem. Shoutouts to the Crash speedrunning community.
Another, that's a name we know, a member of the community that has done, that does speedrun this game as far as I'm aware, at least. He's more of on the Crash side, so I don't, not as familiar, but he's a great guy from what I've seen, and, yeah, thank you for donating. The Crash community has always been, like, very, very, nice when donating, and during GDQ runs, we always get tons and tons.
Mm-hmm. I also just wanted to point out that last section right there that you saw with phasing the masks in between those platforms as you use the mask invincibility is very, very difficult to do. So props to Jordy for nailing that.
Oh yeah.
So here you see an infamous fire skip. The first fire that he tried to, that he did go over. It's very easy to die to that fire, that first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's quite common death actually. Especially when you start learning the game.
Yeah, it's very, very tough. So this one is a smaller grind section, but yeah, these these rail sections will be coming up. So, so we're gonna be coming up towards these little big enemies coming up. I believe they're called Frank, as Engine calls them.
Actually, they're called Chop Shop.
Yeah, in the game they're called Chop Shop, but apparently they have names. So hey, you know, just a little bit of lore tidbits for you.
Yeah, so there's a lot of technicality and verticality when it comes to this game, this level being one of them. And the next level is actually, now that we're towards the end of the level, might as well say that the next level, which is Hit the Road, actually has a massive skip that has you mostly skipping all of the verticality and climbing pretty much for the rest of the level. And it actually involves one particular checkpoint where it just makes you skip 80% of the level.
It's pretty big, yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see if
so
Jordy can
Yes.
pull this off.
most of this game involves around menuing with each respective world. So as you just saw Jordy did there, in the blink of an eye, he just menued right into the next level.
Yeah, so for this level, I am going to be doing, obviously, quite a big skip coming up, as you'll see, hopefully. By bouncing off a checkpoint crate, and then landing on an invisible wall in the background, or foreground, as actually might be. Hopefully, I don't mess this up, because I only have one shot at it.
Yeah, this is a notorious run killer. And looks like you got it, yeah.
Yep.
Very nice. So this skip, to go into further explanation, for the longest time, it was known as the Forbidden Tech because that last section, the jump that Jordy's doing right now, is actually a backup, quote unquote, that was discovered later on because initially the original way to do that skip was to do a long jump onto where the truck is supposed to spawn and then just start slide spinning from there. But that backup was found and makes that skip a lot more consistent, so that's really nice. And now we have a classic truck chase scene, so not much activity is going to be going on here, so if you have time for a couple more donations.
Or we can talk, since this reminds a lot about the other Crash 4, the real Crash 4, Wrath of Cortex.
Yes.
You know, the
The real Crash 4.
the Atlas Sphere. This is definitely like a throwback to that, except like also the masks that Abdul talked about earlier, the 4 quantum masks, is probably also a callback to the 4 elemental masks, I think they're called in Wrath of Cortex.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
elemental mouse. Yeah.
We should all take like 1 second of silence for Twalk, since it's deleted, you know.
Oh, silence, right. Okay, there's our silence.
I mean, when it comes to this game, I feel like the whole multiverse concept is meant to kind of keep the older games intact. Especially when it comes to some of the cameos and some characters that have actually been used, like what's his name? Oxide, who's surprisingly part of the story somehow in this game, just magically.
All right, so right now we have Stage Dive, aka the engine fight. So this is the first boss fight of the game. And what Jordy's going to be doing here is actually a really, really complicated skip that saves practically minutes of this entire fight. So as he's coming up to engine, so what he's going to be doing here is climbing up these boom boxes. And a really, really hard thing to use slide spin. That's it. That's all you do. You just slide spin. That's all there is to the trick. And funny enough, there is actually a way for the first phase to actually do the slide spin so fast that you soft lock the first phase. I know this because I've done this multiple times, and I swear this only happens to me.
I have no idea how you manage it. I've never done this before.
That's what happened to me in the middle of my 106% run too.
Okay, so you have experienced it. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone here.
I was like, what in the world just stopped my game? Why is engine not moving? And then I realized, oh, I soft locked the game, so I just gotta die.
Yeah.
And reset the boss fight.
But yeah, the boss fight, it's very simple. All you do is skip. So originally, what initially is supposed to be going on during those phases is you're supposed to be like dodging like little plasma beams of like shockwave energy that engine throws at you, and you have to spin minions back into those boom boxes. But doing those slide spins onto engine just skips that entire phase. All right, no worries. So now we're in the pirate dimension, or the salty wharf as it's called in game, and this is a notoriously difficult level because of all the hole skips that exist in this level. So we're going to be coming up on another grind rail section, so this is actually another perfect time for donations.
Alrighty, this time I will make sure it happens. Here's $25 from Rico, who says, "Good luck on the run, Jordy. I know that you'll do an amazing job. One question though, why aren't you playing as Coco?"
Oh, the Coco fanboy himself, Rico.
I can I can say Rico is one of the HD Crash community leaders, like the most the top dog of Crash HD. Basically, he's a great runner, a great guy, and that donation means a lot. He donates to every Crash run on GDQ, so
Big shout out.
Yes, thank you, Vico.
and thank you for the work he does. He really puts in the work for the community, and that's great. And for why not playing as Coco? I don't know. It's a bad character, dude.
I can
You lose
give,
1 frame.
I could give a good explanation
Yes.
to why we don't play as Coco in this game. So it takes a whole 3 frames to press square on the overlay menu. So we gotta save frames here, man. Yeah, so not much else in this level. It's just a lot of hole skipping.
Yeah,
towards
I must
end
say
of
the
lot of
60
precision.
FPS is a lot nicer.
Yeah, it's a good thing we got that situated.
Oh no, Jordy.
I thought I was
how about you
losing
go
the
back to 30?
plot, then I realized it was 30.
Actually, since you're in EU, how about you put it down to 25? But yeah, in terms of this game, there's a lot of precision required, especially in levels like this one. Next level is going to be obviously a new character gameplay in the form of a new version of Tana. So her gameplay, if anyone has played Twinsanity, Crash Twinsanity for that matter, you'll realize that her gameplay is kind of identical in this case. And as you can see, Jordy's right now doing a checkpoint skip, which he literally just got at first try with his hook shot.
Very impressive.
Yeah,
That
that's
is a-
really nice.
That is a very notoriously difficult thing to do, and like one of the very few skips that are just very, very much near impossible to do, and just requires flat out 99% precision with your hook shot.
It's a very
Yeah, if you fail that, I was gonna say if you fail that, then the camera doesn't align the same way on the following respawn as well. So it makes that hook even harder to get on a respawn, at least for me.
Right, so you kind of want to pull it off on your very first try, the moment you load into the level, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Her
just a lot
gameplay
of-
is also notoriously different, is what I can say. She has some. Sometimes she doesn't want to hook what she's supposed to hook, and doesn't want to grab what she's supposed to grab in terms of the walls, and it can be interesting at times. Hopefully, we don't get to see much of it this run, but yeah.
Yeah, aside from that, just general diagonal skips here and there, and also a little animation skip before you start a rail grind with Tana specifically, is that you can jump just before you approach a rail grind, and it'll just cancel the jumping animation when you rail grind.
All right, and we will be seeing that character much later in the run. So that'll be it for Tana. And up next, we have a really, really notorious level for run killing, which is Jetboard Jetty. Any thoughts on Jetboard Jetty here, Jordy?
I hate it.
This level will be difficult.
This level do indeed be difficult, and you're going to see why.
I would definitely try to follow what Jordy's doing, because this level is notoriously hard, and there is a really, I would say, difficult skip at the end of it. I'm not the best at the skip, and I know the 2 other runners we have here, or the 3 other runners are very good at it, but not I think it's very difficult.
If there is one level that took me more than 4 hours or 5 hours to Platinum Relic, the very first time when you were just discovering time trials in this game and just seeing what works best for you and your own playstyle, this level alone took me 1/4 of a day just to pull off and try something on my own. So this level, you can tell that it's just very, very cycle dependent. But for this beginning portion of the level, you can kind of do a lot of cool skips with your very handy slide jump. This game also has something called Coyote Time, where your slide momentum carries over through each edge. And yeah, it also works with a slide spin. And yeah, it's just kind of the form of a lunge in this game's physics, per se.
Coyote Time is very normal in Crash games, but not to this degree.
No.
Crash 4 has a massive amount of it. You saw Jordy just slide spin over that entire gap. That would not be possible in any other Crash game unless you had some tech in it. it's just some of the game's mechanics are based around that, and it's really cool to see because you have a lot of like freedom in air after like slide spinning off. You don't instantly die as in some of the other Crash games.
Right. So upcoming, there's going to be a skip that involves pausing the game and also trying to manipulate the game to thinking that you're dead, but you're not really dead. So what this does is take Crash off of the jetboard.
All right, looks like he got it first try.
Oh, he got it first try.
Yep.
All right,
That's
and
really
just like
impressive.
that, just
Very
like that,
impressive.
he's walking on water.
So it looks like we're not even going to see our glorious boss fight here, which is Luis. And by glorious, I mean we actually hate this character. So we're actually kind of glad we're not going to be able to see the fight at all.
Now you can just slide spin across the water. And this boss fight is notoriously known for being like a horrible boss fight, both in the speedrun and casually. It's not a fun boss fight. It has a bit of jank to it, and it's just weird. We actually had like there was a bounty on finding this skip for about like 4 or 5 months before it was found, I think. So someone got themselves like $300 for finding that skip.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. When you hate a boss so much that it doesn't even exist in the time trial.
Yeah, just, you know what? Forget it. No boss fight.
Why would they even do that? Like, it's like, you could have just, you know, got the ending. Or just put some planks or, like, a bridge. The jetboard is just literally useless in the time trial.
Here we see the second mask, if I'm not wrong. The second
Yes.
mask, Akano, which is basically like an overpowered death tornado spin from the third game, where you get a ton of airtime and it has some really cool stuff you can do with it. Not on PC actually, and it was like an infinite jump that was glitched. That's really cool. But he is a really cool mask, and every momentum that you bring into Akano gets carried with you. So if you do a slide spin jump, which like has a fast momentum, then you get more speed in Akano.
Yeah, so the only setback with Akano is that he's very slippery, so even if you're not moving any direction, he's still gonna move you on the last direction you move to.
And in the later levels, you'll actually get to see more applications used with this mask, where you'll see a lot of speed, like actually like tremendous amounts of that. I can't wait to see. But for now, we have Give It a Spin. This level is not really the most interactive out of this hub world, but the other two levels are definitely more interesting.
Right,
Yeah, I
so
was trying
just,
to go for a cycle skip though. It did not go to plan, but I was looking to
catching
land
that.
on the yellow plant and then jump around.
Yeah,
I just didn't make it.
So just to plug in this little notion about Akano and the infinite spin, more or less, there's a little trick with Akano that you can do with the game-given ability with the triple spin, where the triple spin momentum can be carried over with Akano. So with each triple spin, with your second or third spin, depending on the situation that you're in, you can basically align the momentum with Akano and basically just fly across a lot of levels that have Akano.
the only
Which
sad
is-
part about go ahead.
Excuse me. Which is like the triple spin that I wanted to touch on. It's the ability like equal to running shoes that you usually get after defeating the final boss. So we won't be seeing it in this run, sadly. But there are other categories with it if you ever want to check that out. That use it a bit. I think 106 uses it the most, definitely, right?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Like most in some of like inverted and actually can show it off a lot in time trial too. But coming to this level, what was it called again? Dragon On.
Dragon On, yep.
It's literally in the name too. The level drags on when you die too much.
Yeah,
So-
this level is pretty neat. It's one of the more, it's one of the only other levels in the game where you go vertically instead of horizontally, and you're going to be seeing Akano used to its full potential here. Really neat stuff is going to be coming up right now.
Right, so with Akano specifically, there are a lot of momentum manipulation that you can do. One's that with the boxes where if you time your jump right with Akano, as you jump off and hold X, you can basically have a lot of momentum in your jump. And That's the very first skip in the game, or in the level, excuse me, that you actually witnessed just now. When I first saw the skip, it was just near impossible for me to do, but like, I think there was one on PS5 and Series X or S that was patched with that one, but there was an alternative to it.
Yeah, so they did. No, you're right. They did patch it, but what they did is basically they just implemented another wall, which you can still go over the wall. It just takes longer, but they just made the wall taller, so it's still very skippable. It's just a bit different. So yeah,
Right.
what Abdul meant was that with the box, you basically use the bounce. What you saw, Jordy, you just use the bounce momentum that you get to power Akano even more. As Akano is broken with momentum.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the very second skip towards the end of the level where he just uses the same bounce momentum manipulation and just gets a very high jump. He failed the first time near the checkpoint, but he got it off the second time with the TNTs as backup.
Yeah, very good backup there. And this is off bounce now, so this level has a really, really neat skip that's going to be at the end. And this is also the introduction of the wall run, as you see right there. But obviously we're not going to be needing that one. And we'll be grabbing Akano, and from that point on, we're just going to be doing our best to keep Akano, and you will see exactly how we will do that. And now
An interesting thing with the wall runs is that when you jump off, you actually get like a bit of a momentum boost. It's like very minor, but
Yeah. And that elevator, I swear, is like the most troll elevator. Like, there still has to be a way to try to like make that cycle, but there just isn't one.
Unless you have the triple spin, there's absolutely no way.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Because like the time trial for this level is actually kind of clean. You can actually like beat the cycle on that specific elevator.
All right. So upcoming, we're going to be having what is going to be the first major skip here. So there's a point in this part of the game where we actually lose the Akano mask, and we're going to jump right over that mask trigger right there, as Jordy did. And we're going to carry the momentum of the Akano spin past the wall. Oh, and yeah, a little overshoot there. But he got the checkpoint. He got the checkpoint, so yeah.
A funny thing I can mention is that even if you skip the trigger, we're not supposed to have Akano here, as CrispyTacoz said, but even if Jordy died, it saves the state you were in rather than the state you should be in. So he still has the mask, even though he shouldn't have it, even after dying.
Right.
Also, so this is the skip right here, and yeah, the end of the level is literally right across from that one point where Jordy jumped off. And you can only do that if you have the Akano mask, which you're not supposed to have at that point. Saves about 40 seconds.
you can also do that skip faster by going left side of the wall in the background, but it's really hard to make the jump. So I did the safer version. It only saves like 1 to 2 seconds to do it the faster way.
Hold still.
Now we have the second boss fight, Brio, which I would say is a throwback to Crash 1, because the general mechanics of the boss fight is the same as the original Crash 1, where he will throw out purple vials at you, you gotta dodge them, and then he will throw out green vials at you, which is slimes that you gotta spin, or I don't know if you can jump them in this game. Do you jump them in Crash 1?
You can jump them. You can jump them.
Yeah, so spin or jump them, just damage them into Brio, repeat this 3 times, and then he does things in a Brio fashion and drinks his potions, which, you know, if you play the games, it's never smart.
It's a nice little updated fight where instead of jumping on Brio and relying on him getting close to you, you actually have to use a mask and actually knock him off yourself. It's a nice little update from the Crash 1 fight. But yeah, so on the very first phase here, he doesn't have Akano, now he does. So there's a little bit of buffering and some lining to Brio specifically. So because he follows you, you essentially line him up near the end of any edge and basically spin him with Akano. And if you time it right, you can kind of spin him and turn off Akano at the same time. That kind of knocks him back a little further in that regard, which actually guarantees you knocking him off with 1 hit off the edge.
Yeah, releasing Akano gives him another pushback for some reason. Which is no one can explain that. I think it's just very weird. Like you saw
It
right
just
there.
happens. It
Yeah.
just happens.
It just exists.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to be heading over to the Mosquito Marsh dimension, and we're going to be having the casual player's favorite level coming up. And also, the reason why this game is a completion nightmare, inverted levels are now unlocked. So shout outs to anyone who has ever attempted a 106 of this game. I commend you.
I think my best one, especially if this is about 106, I feel like this game can be done under 9 hours with no load times, to be exact. I think my best time so far is about 9 hours and 25 minutes loadless. So inverted in particular, after that Brio fight, inverted just it kind of really sucks the life out of you. Like after playing the normal stages, trying to take care of the perfect relics, trying to be wary of all the cycles. As you can see, Jordy, that was a very nice. You almost died there by that little smoke.
Yeah.
You got the fast cannon strat also.
Nice. So when it comes to 106 and completion of this game, you kind of want to space out your completion and not just do the normal game and then right into inverted. You kind of just want to relax and have a little parade. And that's exactly what we're having.
Yeah, however, in the any percent speedrun, this stage is anything but a parade. There's a lot of cycles that you have to look for. This level in particular is unique in that the cycles are actually dependent on the music playing in the background, so it can be extremely inconsistent. So if you have a death at any point in this level, the ghosts that shoot the trumpets and everything else in this level will actually follow the music cues still, and then sometimes like you'll have like an invisible shot come out from the trumpets and it'll still like manage to hit you because it's still in tune with the music instead of like the actual cycle.
I mean, it is called offbeat for a reason.
Very true. Staying true to its name.
Yeah, I actually managed to make the god cycle here, so this level's going pretty well so far.
Yeah, all things considered, yeah, you did get the god cycle. So getting that elevator right there is really, really huge. It saves about like an additional 3 to 5 seconds depending on your movement.
Just like off balance.
I don't
Go
have
on.
much to say about this level other than I hate it.
Yes.
I despise the music. I despise like the just like how the whole level is. I don't think I love music levels in speedruns, but this one in specific just annoys me. I don't know why. You can, I'm sure I'll receive tons of like backlash for saying this because I know most people love this level, but I'll take it. I'm proud of my opinions.
All right, so this is the last part of Offbeat, which is just in the rail section. So while the chat is grooving, we can sneak in a donation.
I've got just the donation here. It's $5 from Zach K that says, "We are so close to reaching not only Hitman, but also 600K. If not even half the current viewers threw in $5, we would blow past both of those goals. Let's go, Twitch chat." They're right. We are within $4,000 of 600K, and we're also within 13,000 of the Hitman 3 bonus game. We're so close, guys.
Let's make it happen. All right, so Jordy, you want to talk about this next character coming up?
Yes, so Dingo is interesting character. It's fairly simple in the movement. You have a spin and a vacuum and a jump, and that's it. Essentially, the vacuum is a way of just traversing the level, but when you use the vacuum, you are moving a bit slower in the air, so you want to kind of decrease vacuum movement as much as possible, just to save time.
Every time I see you run this level, it's a nightmare for me to even comprehend the very specific movement across the little ledges and the planks. Although Dingodil's, momentum and hitbox is pretty large. Well, and he's also dubbed one of the, thick characters in the game. And that's figuratively and literally, because his hitbox makes him jump on boxes so easily and land on so many things very easily. speaking of things being, very easy, with Dingodile at least, you saw him spin one of those mixers, and yeah, you don't need the TNT barrels to take him out. You could just literally spin with Dingodile and just destroy them.
Yeah. Also, shout outs to that one sign that exists there so that Jordy was able to make that jump.
Yeah, just
I remember the time where I used to fail that sign jump like so often, but now
Yeah,
it's simple.
It is a bit. It is a bit tricky to do. Yeah.
Oh god, that massive jump before the 3 guys you jump on. Oh,
I think
seriously.
in most people's casual playthrough, this was the level where people went, well, I will not go for every box, because I do think this level has like 400 boxes or something.
So they're probably like somewhere around like 200-ish or so. But yeah. We'll actually
Is it
see.
200?
No,
One of them has like 400, I know.
no, no dilly-dallying has 502.
Yeah, no dilly has 500.
No, yeah, 500, yeah.
Yeah, but
But, like-
Dingo levels are just stacked with crates.
But like at the same time, all those 500 boxes, most of them are just nitro stacked on top of each other. So it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, that little diagonal skip towards the end, just a bit of a camera. The camera messes up there a bit before it actually, it actually comes back to you once you hit that checkpoint and go through towards the end.
So,
Yeah, like I
was right.
said. Yeah, like I said earlier, some of the checkpoints are kind of useless, uselessly placed in some of the locations, and that last checkpoint before the end of the level was one of them.
There was 398 boxes in that level, so that is 400.
Okay, that is a
Yeah.
lot then.
Yeah. That's what I thought. That I remembered seeing that. I was like, oh. So actually, you saw a little glimpse of a yellow gem up in the corner here above the 4 boxes that Jordy's now passing, which, we don't use here, obviously, but it's a nice little fact for you guys that haven't finished your casual playthrough. Spoiler alert, by the way. I'm sorry.
well, their playthrough's now ruined.
One other funny thing, I think my first gameplay of this game altogether, like my first visit on this level, despite the game telling me where the yellow gem is with the level intro, I still managed to miss it.
You know what? You're not alone. I also missed it.
So a lot of coyote time manipulation, and he barely made that jump. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a little
very
terrifying.
much-
Yeah,
I'm
the
very
rope didn't let
impressed.
me jump off. I thought I was done.
Some of the ropes and their hang time, or not hang time, like once they have you latch onto them, some of them are like kind of different, and Run It By You here, that happens to be one of the levels where they have, some of the ropes are just oddly coded for some reason. Like you either latch on them at the tip, at the lower tip, or just completely negate them, and the game just kills you off. So the upcoming skip in this one is to just slide jump all the way towards the left and just go through the entire boat section without riding the boat, more or less. You kind of have to position yourself for the camera to basically follow you. So in this regard, you just have to you can just skip the entire boat section with no worries. That little log back there for some reason has a hitbox in some versions, but on PC I believe it doesn't have a hitbox. Under the entire jetboard, you just have to essentially go backwards a little and just line yourself enough for the game to carry you through the entire floor and just have you roll with the jetboard downhill.
There you see a bit of fake crash. Oh, and the boost.
Hey, the
Speed
big
boost.
jump.
Let's
Nice.
go.
That's
Okay.
big. That saves
Love to
1
see it.
second.
Does it really save 1 second? That
It's
big of a
like
boost.
once. It's pretty big, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, not getting
Yes.
it. It's random. We don't know what causes it.
Right then.
Well, now we've got to go back to my favorite 30 FPS again. Just like at the beginning of the game where I was doing it by accident.
See, you were preparing
Yes.
for this moment, so this is why you have 30 FPS at the start.
Yes.
So what I can say quickly while we enter the 30 FPS stuff is that this is my favorite level. This was a demo level. I loved this level. I still love this level. And it's
Yeah.
great.
It's a very, very good level to basically introduce this game in the demo. So third mask, Kapunoa, simple enough. She just, I was about to say freezes time. No, she slows time. And yeah, as you can see, not even 5 seconds into the level and there's already action with skipping time and basically just jumping all over the place. So just to summarize how this mask works, for some reason, the lower the frame rate, the faster you're able to skip frames. So what you have to do is basically have both mask power buttons pressed down at the same time, or timed well enough for you to basically just quote unquote flash through the level. So in short, you're just flying and skipping time.
Friends, if I have a moment to step in here, we are less than $2,000 away from reaching 600,000, and we are less than $11,000 away from reaching the Hitman 3 bonus game. Chat, you're doing amazing.
Great job, guys. Keep it up.
Also, there are a lot of, like, as you've probably seen, like, some of the boxes you can see in backgrounds for stuff, and people think that this game is
Whoa.
Oh, what
That's a
happened
thing
here?
if you activate the
okay.
mask at the end.
Is that a GDQ classic? Never seen that before?
I've had it happen once. If you activate the mask by accident and slow time as you go into the exit, you basically have a slow ending.
Okay, because that was definitely new to me.
What I was gonna say is that in a casual playthrough of this, there are tons of boxes you will not find in your first playthrough, and the devs were very crafty with finding where to put them. And some are straight up just very, what should I say, impossible to find.
Maniacal.
Yeah.
Maniacal, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, some things you can kind of tell when it comes to exploration, number one, because that's kind of what Crash games are known for. They're known for really well-detailed environments and exploration. And before I go with anything, same thing as the previous level. You're able to skip time, including on the rail grind. One key thing with these doors that close and open are they have a trigger. So if you skip the trigger, they will never open. So you gotta be wary of those triggers when skipping time. So that was very quick.
The camera is also not very good at keeping up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, this level is
Minimum
just
jump.
like this level just fit. It can be done in like less than 30 seconds essentially, and that's the. I'm surprised you even died there.
Yeah, this part of the level is very difficult. The way that Jordy is going for these time skips, like instead of just slowing down time, he's like actually trying to skip through it. And I guess that'll be it for 30 FPS for now, until we see the more applicable uses later on in the run.
For a second, I thought we were gonna have a glimpse of 75 FPS.
That's a bit too ambitious. We're not ready for 75 yet.
That would have thrown me off again if I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
All right, so there's not much time skipping action outside of those two main levels. Of course, if there's any time skipping that's majorly in a level, you would have to essentially go back to 30 for that split second or for that few seconds in a particular level. But this level doesn't have it. It doesn't have it only has one single instance of it, and it's not really that useful because it involves nitros. So bears repeating. This level was. It was notorious for its very weird hitbox with Polar, the little bear that you ride on that also makes a return from Crash 2. So, yep, he got also fixed, and yeah, this level is no longer my most hated level. That title actually goes to Jetboard Jetty, second one being Offbeat. Thanks, Murcaz.
Oh, nice. He got the neat little jump right there off of the box, so that does save about another second or two. Very clean.
one thing I don't know if we touched on yet is the fact that he does like bounce on the nitro, which is something you can do while mask is slowed down. That's one of the powers of the mask. I don't know if we did mention that yet.
No,
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't.
Yeah,
No, we haven't.
it is intended.
Yes.
Yeah, so bouncing on nitros used to kind of also be a thing in the original Crash 3, the predecessor of this game. And if you time your double jump right with a nitro, you can kind of use it to your advantage, where you could just trigger the nitro without it killing you. It's kind of the same thing in this game, but it involves more RNG with the nitro and does not involve the double jump. So if to summarize, if a nitro jumps with you as you're jumping on it, it's kind of like a frame jump where you're basically guaranteed to not, well, die.
Would say
Within $1,000 of 600,000.
would say we got time for one quick donation now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
Here's $10 from Cornbread Seb that says, "This is a haiku. Jordy's doing great, but you missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 99 boxes."
Can you imagine if this game actually had the same box ending as Crash 1? Can you imagine how that would be in a level like no dilly-dallying, just 500 boxes being smashed onto your head?
Crash
That
would be
kinda
dead.
funny.
There's actually, I think it's this level that we just did. You can break a box as you're going into the bonus, so it counts as double boxes, like one in bonus and one outside. So you could use that to like gain the advantage of one box while going into the polar section when it was still very difficult to do.
Yeah,
That was
but
that level, right?
No, it's actually in its timeline level, building
Oh,
bridges.
yeah. I thought it was one of the two. I just couldn't remember which.
Yeah, it's still the same level, but it's in a different, time aspect. So coming into Cortex boss fight number 1, actually. 'cause
No.
there's a second.
The last boss fight. We're just 50 minutes ahead of us. That's fine.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
It's the last boss fight.
You know how Crash games go. We always, Cortex is always the final boss. We meet him at this point in the game. We're looking good. We're being solid.
Oh, okay, so this makes this literally just makes Twin Sanity a very short game then.
In that aspect, yes, it does.
So here you see, I actually think this is the most difficult boss fight casually. Like, there's very hard to like dodge all of this that's going on, and then you have to smack the punch spot back to him.
I did this boss fight on my first time without realizing the mask existed, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it's very, very subtle because it doesn't help that Kapunawa has kind of the same texture as Crash's fur being almost like a tannish orange kind of thing. So a lot of people miss out on that on their first playthrough.
And then they also ask or wonder how do I beat this boss? And before they realize that they actually have the time mask on.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can do in this fight is, if you're not a casual, you can also just swag walk across everything. I think Jordy also did this a bit earlier on the fight in the second hit. But yeah, this fight casually, it's pretty notorious. It's actually one of the more difficult fights, ironically. But in a running aspect, it's not that bad at all. More often than not, you might as well just not even use the mask at all. You'll still have the fight to your advantage regardless. So after that fight, go on.
Yeah, what happens in that, after that fight, as Abdul was probably about to say, but in true fashion, I wanted to say it. The cutscene shows Crash and Cortex becoming friends, and now Entropy is the villain that we're out to stop. So Cortex wasn't the last boss fight, and they're now eternally friends. They hug. It's a whole sentimental scene, and you should watch it because it is probably the most sentimental Crash we'll ever get, because we're not known, the games are not known for that.
Crash, I've been like a father to you. I've created you, nursed you, tried to destroy you.
Trying to destroy you.
So what do you say? With my mighty intellect and their vacuous stupidity will make them unbeatable. I don't know, I forgot that line from Twin Sandy, but it's just one of the very first things that reminded me when I first saw that cutscene.
It was a good effort.
Yeah.
So, very short level, Blast of the Past. There's really not much to it other than just basic. It's a very basic level for a prehistoric, or a very first level for a dimension so far into the game. You think, as I say that, he dies.
I died by this TNT that I don't think I've ever died by before.
Yeah.
So,
Certainly interesting.
Jordy gotta show some love to the TNT crates as well, because you know they all the crates need love. They do have emotions, as proved by Iron Checkpoint crate or whatever it's called in Nitro Fuel. So
Yeah.
I do think during this grind roll section that we have time for a donation or two.
Well, now's a great time because we are within $150 of reaching 600,000. I've got a lot of smaller donations here for a $5 train, including this one from Big Ol' PhD. Another haiku for a hitman. The $5 train comes for you, 47. All aboard, baby.
I think we got one more.
Here's $300 from Lochno saying, let's get that Hitman 3 bonus game incentive met. Got plenty more here if we got time.
I think we need a bit of time before the next. Just
Yeah, this. So you'll see earlier that basically Crash and Cortex made up, and this is a Cortex level. This character exists. Yeah,
Yeah,
he exists.
just no, it's the worst.
Yeah. This character was not designed for speed. Even though he has the fastest dash in the game, functionality-wise, he is not designed to be played fast. And
You see, if they just gave him his hover boots, it would not be so bad. Just to emphasize a double jump or something, to not make the jumps vigorously annoying. But no, his levels they're not that bad. As the name suggests, it's Cortex. His levels are actually designed for him specifically. That includes the single jump that he actually has. And more often than not, you'll actually see a lot of dashes across a lot of things. And it includes some gaps too later down the line. There's actually going to be another level that where it's actually recommended to play as Cortex, or it's obligated to play as Cortex. That includes Tana and Dingo Dial as well. But yeah, this level is kind of a little short. It's actually, Cortex's gameplay is by definition, it's more focused or heavily focused on puzzle. So it's either verticality or puzzle. So more or less, his gameplay is more emphasized towards 2D rather than 3D, because for some reason with his ray gun, things don't really work well in 3D. In 2D gameplay, I think that's where his gameplay actually shines the most. So even in 2D, sometimes he tends to shoot backwards for some odd reason, or even towards the distance or towards the camera. But yeah, that's that level done until 30 minutes.
I made
later.
Cortex look a lot more usable than people think right there.
yeah, he actually looked like a character that time, so that's impressive.
All right.
Friends, we have passed 600,000.
Oh, we did it! Nice.
That's a huge milestone.
Nice.
Good job, everyone.
Great job. All right, so this level right here is another one of the demo stages that was playable before the game officially came out. It's just Dino Dash, and this level has a lot of hole skipping, so that's what you're going to be seeing. And we have a big rail section over here, followed by some chasing, so this is actually perfect for that donation train that you mentioned earlier.
Fantastic. Here's $5 from Mick Crody, who says, as his best friend, please take down Murcaz from commentary for the Coco slander. Thank you very much.
Classic Crody.
There we have the third and final HD all over HD server moderator, Macrody, Rico, and then myself. So they're all been mentioned in some way of another. And I will not stop the Coco slander because I am the single Coco hater in the trio of three. They both love her, and I will not stand for it. This is a Coco-free zone. As you see, Jordy is fully supporting me on that.
Yes. I'll never use Coco on a run. Loses free frames, what can I say?
All right. Yeah, more donations can come through, more rail section and Dino Chasing coming up.
Here's $5 from Anonymous, who says, I heard the Hitman 3 incentive hasn't been met. Let's fix that. Here's $25 from Wormsbane, who says, so hyped for this Crash run and super excited to see the Hitman run. GDQ is such a fantastic event for such a good cause. Thank you to everyone who makes this possible. Here's $100 from Leave It to Heaver, who says, so cool to see Crash represented at this GDQ. Love this community so much. I have been so excited for this run.
It's a very generous donation from a very generous community member that supports like basically everyone in the community. She is absolutely fantastic, and we can't thank her enough for all that she does and the voice she has in the community. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you can squeeze in a couple more.
Absolutely. Here's $25 from Palm Tree Union, who says, oh lordy, it's Jordy. Had to donate during this segment. Love watching your runs. Having rage quit this game so many times, it's great to see you smashing it.
I think I've all been
Here's
there.
$50 from Ozzy James, who says, it's about time we're seeing Crash 4 at SGDQ. Shoutouts to Jordy for this insane run. Slide, spin, repeat. Let's get that Hitman incentive.
Okay, and then with that, we're going to be coming up to the Bermugula orbit. And we're going to be introduced to our last mask, which is Ika Ika. This mask is broken, and you'll see why.
And disorienting.
Very disorienting, too, yes.
But mainly the first one.
Yeah, so as you see here, this is a relatively new skip that was discovered since before we actually used to play this level, but now we're just going to skip the entire thing by going up on this roof here and just slide spinning off. It's a little hard to tell where we are exactly, so we're just going to have to try to just make a straight file line and skip over this area.
Got to end the tunnel
here.
eventually.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So, all right. So if you guys haven't figured it out already, Ika Ika controls gravity, and it's very busted. Allows for a lot of really, really busted things in this level and much others later on in the run. And for some reason, there's a single platform right up here, and we're not sure why.
Hashtag dev work.
And yeah,
This means the skip was maybe intended all along. That's what it means.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was left in there for sure. So right here, what is happening is Jordy's going to be just flying up all the way towards an invisible platform area that is actually a portion of the level that's later on in the run. So doing this actually skips a lot of it skips an unskippable cutscene that was earlier in the level, along with a bunch of other platforming sections that don't use this mask. So we just basically get to keep this mask through the entirety of the level, and he got the load, so that's good. So basically the hard part about that about this skip in particular is getting just that last chunk of the level to load. And now that we know where to go, we can just skip right to the end.
Yeah,
right past this elevator.
So one thing to say about Ika Ika is that there are limitations to its power in specific, that where you can only turn twice or once after activating it. You can turn upside down and then upside down again, like back to normal. Like in one jump, that's all you can do.
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to add.
Yeah. So you can't like continuously like change to keep on the same height. That's why he went so high that he did, and then like fell down to make the entire gap.
Also, quick shout out, thanks Jordy for doing the upside down finishing there.
I'm giving Shipping Arrow a shout out as well by going into the level.
Oh yes, classic Shipping Error. It's such a good level. You just had to enter it, right?
I mean, he obviously
Absolutely.
loved the Cortex gameplay so much in Fossil Fuel that he really wanted to play Shipping here.
Okay, so upcoming up is Stowing Away. This level in particular is not one of the more broken levels. It's pretty straightforward. We're just going to be going into a fairly linear path here. Not really too much to say about it, except just some tight jumps and I guess hole skips. And outside of that, I guess you could just squeeze in some more donations.
I can certainly do that. Here is a $50 donation from Some Egrets. Sorry, no haiku. I'm not a clever bird. Let's just hit some mans. I have a $47 donation here from Phoenix and Miles saying, Agents of Chat, your target is barely 10k away. Take the shot. Ooh, I do actually have a haiku here. It's $25 from Cornbread Seb, who says, we sure love our trains. This one stops at Hitman 3. The train goes choo-choo.
All right, so yeah. Oh, go ahead.
What you see here is like a puzzle of some kind, like that you use Ika to manipulate through the boxes and it changes the labyrinth every time. It's quite an interesting thing in a Crash game. I don't think there's many other Crash games with stuff like that. I can't recall a single one, unless I'm very wrong, but I think it's a very cool segment.
It kind of reminds me more of Ratchet and Clank for some reason.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, a good chunk of this game actually has like a few like callbacks into I always say that like Home Cooking, the level that we saw Dingo Dial in earlier, kind of has like Sly Cooper vibes to it. So yeah, this level, Stowing Away, kind of does have like that Ratchet and Clank feel to it.
It does feel like a very, like, what is it called? That it calls back to a lot of like PS1, PS2 era platformers. Like it pays homage to a lot of them. It feels like.
Yeah, I feel like this level in particular is like very Ratchet and Clank-esque.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So in this level, I think for those that are aware of Crash history, you may or may not know that this level's name is quite literally named after the cancelled Crash game, Crash Landed. Or also, I believe, dubbed as I Am Crash Bandicoot, which is also meant to serve as a little reboot after the Mutant series of Crash.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
So yeah, and ironically, you also have another writing section that is not polar. However, it's a very, very cute little alien cat.
It's an alien cat. Well, the species.
I would say like,
That's a new one.
yeah.
The species of it is it actually has a name. It's called a Schnurgle.
It is called a Schnurgle, but you guys call it Tim.
No. Rico called it Tim. No one else calls it Tim. No one else calls it Tim. It's not Tim.
Unofficial dubs here. Also, neat little section coming up here. So, when you're using slime physics and you combine it with the gravity switching with Ika here, you can gain a huge momentum boost, as you're seeing right here in this section. It's probably top 5 favorite parts of this speedrun. Just like blasting through this entire section. Also, a time trial strat.
It's really satisfying, you know, just pulling it off like in motion. It's just really satisfying seeing the whole section just fly off in the camera. So, go on.
You really ruined this whole thing for me. I'm gonna think of that as like one mutated cat from now on. Like, this is horrible.
Hey, see, even the chat agrees with me. All of them love Tim.
Yeah,
all right,
Tim
so you know
the
what?
cat.
There we go. I guess we're calling it. We're just gonna establish that it is Tim from now on. I guess by unanimous decision.
It's Tim the cat. That's important to note.
Tim the alien cat.
Exactly. Yeah, Tim the cat.
All right. So yeah, not much to say about this final section except the last part of it is actually pretty difficult. The platforming is it's really, really interesting because there are certain paths that you can take to get towards the end section. You can go from the right, the left, or you could go straight down the middle, which I believe Jordy is going to go for the middle here. Very tight jumps here.
Yeah, because if you go for that first one towards the right side while boosting, you just bump your head on the geometry and just die off. So for some reason,
more
like
dangerous.
it's more dangerous, and like most things are like unified into one cycle because you know it is a big game and things load very fast, and like 2 or 3 chunks per level sections.
No clue who named him Tim, but if you're watching this, please don't name anything else.
I bet you right now, like Rico somewhere is just smiling that everyone loves the name Tim for the alien cat.
Definitely grinning over.
Hey, all right, he grabbed the first fruit. Okay, good. All right, so this is just the rail section here.
A fun thing I want to say.
Yeah,
a fun thing I want to say fast is that we did commentary practice and we said, Jordy, go for the berries, because something funny happens. And he missed the first one. Like, we were hoping that wouldn't happen here, and he got the first one, so some donations now, let's go.
Yeah.
One thing we dub this finding section is bathroom break.
Yeah.
Did I hear the call for donations then?
Yep, go ahead.
Yep.
Yes.
Alrighty, here's $5 from fellow host, the Kyle Thomas, who says, here's the correct amount of chuggas for the $5 train. Chugga, 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 choo choo. Keep it cute, chat. I did count those correct. Just to point this out.
Excellent work.
Here's $5 from Supersphere that says, ah yes, Louise, couldn't help but donate during this run, so good luck, Jordy. You've got this. Oh, and great job on the Louise skip.
Thank you.
All right, so here is the big moment right here that everyone's waiting for. That's the reason why they collect all those berries. Neat little Easter eggs.
I normally go for a drink break there.
Yeah, but the woe is more important in the GDQ run, obviously.
Yes, but normally water is more important.
I also want to point out, if I'm not wrong, Taco, Supersphere is the one that found Luis, correct?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so thank you a lot for that donation. That is very cool. And thank you for finding Luis,
Yes,
most of all.
So this fight is not really a fight as much just getting to the place where we need to go and just hitting a bunch of stuff. So this is actually another place for donations.
Alrighty, here's $100 from Solarium saying, so glad to see Crash 4 at a GDQ and to see someone as nutty as Jordy destroy it. Good luck on the run and don't forget to...
Perfect timing.
Solarium also another runner that is running Crash 4 at the moment, I believe. I
Yes.
might be wrong.
One thing to add into this boss fight is that it was actually meant to be a lot more difficult and actually have an extra phase after these 2 hits. So the Rift Generator more or less was meant to actually attack you directly after the shields come off, and the rail grinding section was actually meant to be a lot more tougher than what it actually is.
At least we got a neat little Easter egg out of it.
Yeah, if you skip this ending portion fast enough, you'll actually be able to see the portion of Crash just standing in the horizon, staring at the Rift Generator.
All right, so yeah, that's the end of the game, right? Yeah, we're done. We beat Entropy. That's it. That is the story goes.
Yes, now Crash and Cortex is eternally friends, and definitely Cortex didn't just like take his words back and is now trying to destroy him.
Yeah, good. So
definitely not what happened.
So this dimension here is supposed to basically be like the quote-unquote epilogue, as we're alluded to when upon first playthrough. So Food Run here is going to be one of the first levels that uses all of the masks, but we're only going to be using 2 because of another skip that's going to be coming up.
I personally call this dimension the diabetes dimension because it's officially called the snacks dimension, but you know how snacks goes. You don't want to get too fat when using all 4 masks.
Yeah, so right here is going to be another fly all the way to the end of the level kind of thing. So not much really going on here. We're just going to be trying to look for a visual cue here. So if you want to get some donations going on, go for it.
Oh boy, do I have the perfect donation here. This is $10,000 here from The Yeti.
Whoa.
It says,
Wow.
hey y'all, Yeti here. I heard we were doing haiku. Let this cryptid take a crack at it. Haiku are simple, but sometimes they have weird ends abominable. You know what? Good enough. Thank you, Yeti, for the $10,000. Amazing donation.
Yeah, that is
Speechless.
amazing. Yeah, that is amazing. So now we see Crash fly. We probably have time for one more, right?
Yes, you can do one more.
One more here. Let me pick a good one. This is $100 from Purple Spyro Fan that says, happy to see my favorite Crash game represented at GDQ by one of the best runners around. Good luck, Jordy. Cortex W.
Another
And
very
nice. He got the end of the level to load there, so that's the most important part about that skip. So really good job there, Jordy.
first try on that
Thank
skip
you.
is very difficult, and yeah, really good job, Jordy.
Another run killer, basically.
Yeah, if the level doesn't like load, you have to do it blind. Unless you walk all the way back to the screen and take a long process to make the level load.
Let's see if these tall poppies know.
Also want to shout out Purple Spyro Fan for the donation. Also a very generous community member. Seen his name around a lot. So Again, thank you all for the support.
Oh, hey, look, it's Dingodile. Yeah, so this level is actually a two-parter. It's the longest level in the game. So the first section you play as Dingodile, trying to get to one part from, point A to point B. And then the second part, you play as Tana. And that is the only time that you ever play as these two again in the run. So, yeah, enjoy Dingodile and Tana while you guys can.
I feel like they could have separated these two portions into two separate levels, so it's not vigorously annoying completion-wise, because when it comes to completion, this level is long, but like, you kind of get used to it normally, but when you go to the inverted portion, it's just like twice as long at that point.
This level was painful to miss a crate on, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's everyone's worst nightmare.
Things are just vastly open when it comes to Dingodile, actually. Tana, not so much, because like it's more of a linear path, and also involves rail grinding, actually. But this level is actually fun in its own merit. The only time where it's not so fun and it actually becomes a bit terrifying, especially when you're going for a deathless run, is towards the very end, where you kind of have to dodge a myriad of traffic. And so coming right now is the end of the Dingodile section after these few truck jumps. Oh yeah, by the way, with that mask, you're not able to carry it between sections, or between levels actually, so between characters or levels you're not really able to carry masks. So if you have a mask, just abuse it however you want, and yeah, save time.
Yeah, it was just a safety mask for trust for nitros.
Yeah, always got to go for the safety there, because those nitros can be really, really, really bad, for lack of a better term. So yeah, this section, Tana's portion of this level is nothing but just rail grind sections, so with a little bit of platforming on the side too. So not much super, like super interesting to talk about. A few corner cuts here and there, but other than that, no, this would be perfect for more donations to come in.
Well, we definitely got some big ones here, including a $500 donation from Larmon, who says, I'm so excited to be donating for a wonderful cause like Doctors Without Borders. This past year has shown how important it is for us to do what we can for global health. Thank you to GDQ for hosting this wonderful event, and let's reach the goal for Hitman 3, which we are within $5,000. We're at $65,130 of the $70,000 needed to keep GDQ going. Let's go, chat.
I believe you have a bit more time for
we have a lot of time. This is literally the level.
Alrighty, then I'll keep going until you guys cut me off.
Yeah, no worries.
Here is $200 from Cybercarp that said, did somebody say a Hitman could happen? Let's do it for the marble with the screaming man inside. That's a good reference to earlier's prize segment. Here's a $50 donation from Destination Mark, who says, it's great to see Crash 4 at SGDQ this year. Here's to Jordy destroying this game, and shout out to my boy Abdul on the virtual couch. Can't wait to go back and watch this run in its entirety.
Mark is actually...
Here is a $10...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
You can continue.
Yeah, you can... Sorry.
All right, here's $75 from the Knight of Nye, who said, had to donate during the Crash 4 run. I died so much during my first playthrough of this, and Jordy is making it look so easy. Keep up the great run.
Oh, yeah.
$25 here from Mikey, who said, I took time off my job this week to see as much GDQ as possible. Totally worth it. Great event as usual. We could have even more GDQ with Hitman. Come on, chat. We can reach that goal.
Make it happen. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Here's a $47.47 donation from hitmaps.com. Mr. Mike from hitmaps.com here. Let's make that Hitman 3 run happen. Still got some more here if we got time.
Yeah, go ahead. You got like a couple more.
Here's $250 from Mr. Rister saying, so happy to be able to donate to such an important cause. As an infectious disease doctor working in the USA, I'm so proud to hear of all the great work the folks at Doctors Without Borders are doing worldwide. Thank you for the $250. And speaking of, another $250 donation here from Melbaz19, who said, "We watch A/SGDQ every year and love donating to such wonderful causes while watching such incredible speedruns. Best of luck to all the runners, and may you raise all the monies."
All right, so with all that being said, so here is Cortex again. This is actually the last Cortex level that we'll be playing in. And so at this point in the game, Cortex is trying to catch up with the rest of the crew. Crash, Tana, Dingo, and everybody. And he just, what Jordy's going to be doing here is going to be a lot of just dashing over, a lot of dashing over and over again onto some cycles, and a lot of 2D platforming also. We didn't get to mention from when he was playing in Fossil Field that Cortex really shines in his 2D platforming, because during the 3D sections, his controls can go a little wonky, but the 2D sections is definitely where he really shines.
And also one thing that wasn't really highlighted with Cortex's gameplay is that he has two different mechanics aside from his dash and single jump. If you shoot once towards an enemy, they become a solid obstacle that you can land on. If you shoot them twice, they become a gelatone or a jellified platform that you can jump on.
He turns them into jelly, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
his gameplay is pretty much monotone in that regard.
So this room we call here the trash cycle, literally because there's just a bunch of trash cans that we turn into jelly. And we're coming up in the final section. So the level actually doesn't end with Cortex. It actually ends with Crash. As at this point in the game, Cortex realizes, wait a minute, I have a time mask. Why don't I just go back in time and prevent this from ever happening? So that's what's basically going to be happening as Crash tries to chase Cortex all the way down here. And I want to see if Jordy can pull out this funny little glitch at the end here. See if he gets it.
Maya got it. Yeah.
And there we go. All right. See you later, Crash. I love seeing that.
Yeah,
I love that
funny
glitch so
thing.
much. Yeah, you know what? Totally worth.
The yeet escape.
And now
Yes.
for me to stop.
It is tradition for every run that makes it to this point and it's not PB, we throw Crash to the next part of the island.
All right, so this is only exclusive to the PC version for some odd reason. The blimp is supposed to throw Crash into this level in the map, nitro processing, but for some reason the game on PC just throws him back to create escape. So the final dimension in this game is Cortex Island, where the entire series started in 1996. Cortex basically kidnaps Kapunawa, the Time Mask, and basically opens up a portal, as Tacoz explained earlier. Basically goes back in time before the events of the first game, and you basically have to go through sewage and into the castle to basically stop Cortex from turning back time. So this skip right here essentially is a very, very precise skip that involves going basically through the spiky wheels using Ika once again, and just hits the checkpoint and basically deloads the entire game for a split second, and then goes into a portion of the game where you basically have to traverse with a blind eye, not knowing where platforms are, but knowing Jordy and Speedrunner's eye, you just know where you're going.
And this level is extremely broken when it comes to Ika because there's going to be another skip coming up right here. We're going to go and skip that entire middle section right there and go straight to the gate where we're supposed to go and just move on from there. And looks like you got it. Okay. And yeah, the level deloads, but you can actually load it back in as soon as you just move forward. And as soon as that happens, you can go onto a platform. But it looks like Jordy didn't get that.
Yeah, I couldn't find the platform. I think I have a shot.
Yeah, that's fine though, because as soon like even if you miss it, the level just returns to normal because you do hit a checkpoint box that just happens to be right there.
On the bright side, you actually get to keep Ika in this section, which you're actually not even meant to do.
Yeah, this entire section, you're not supposed to have any kind of mask until you see a Kapunawa right there, which Jordy will use for the final section.
Yeah, so in that part, you actually get given Kapunawa because the game is intended to make you have to use Kapunawa for the section to get across the wheels. That's why it gives you Kapunawa rather than keeping Ika there, even though I got the checkpoint with Ika.
Yeah, I always wondered why that was the case, but it actually does make a lot of sense. Okay, so 1 down in the gauntlet and 2 more to go. The end game of this this particular game is really, really exciting to watch. So let's see how the rest of the 2 levels go.
I quite like Nitro Processing. It's actually a really fun level. And yeah, coming to the next level, Toxic Tunnels. Probably everybody's most hated level and very technically cycle-based level in the entire game. Yeah, this level's hard. And kind of broken in some aspects.
Extremely difficult. And this is the only level in the final hub that doesn't use any of the quantum mass. So this is just pure platforming that Crash is going to be doing here. And when you're playing this level on PB pace, it can get very, very terrifying. Because there's just a lot of things that could kill you here.
Not to mention also like split-second based platforms just moving in like very fast paced speed.
Exactly.
There's also like weird things when it comes to these 2D platforms, these 2D gear platforms, where if you have a mass and get hit after the gem path door, some of the cycles, I believe the whole cycles just reset for some odd reason. Obviously, we didn't really see that in this run, but yeah, the cycles just reset for some odd reason. So it can really catch you off guard if it happens.
Yeah, I did that climb so fast that I wasn't prepared for the electric to be on the left side. It happens.
So this level, in a speedrunning fashion, this level requires a lot of advanced movement to be known, like coyote time and the momentum that you have in the air. There was a little electric rod that you were able to stand on in other versions, but I believe that got patched at some point.
Yeah, it's patched on. It's patched in this version actually on the PC.
But yeah, other than that, it's just very tip-top platforming. There's not much in this portion. You can kind of squeeze in 1 or 2 donations from here.
Alrighty, then here's a $5 donation from fellow host Frozen Flygon saying, let's get that bonus game. Shoutouts to everyone helping make this event possible. Less than 3. Love all the hearts. And here's a $470 donation from Vacuum saying, always up for more bonus games at GDQ. Here's to Hitman 3. We are currently it just updated. We are $2,500 away from reaching Hitman 3. Chat, we are so close. Keep it up.
Yeah, about 2 more donations.
2 more donations, and then let's get another $100 from Purple Spyro Fan saying, wanted to get another dono in to celebrate this comfy run and help out the Hitman incentive. And here is a $50 donation from Kernunos, who says, I could spend an hour in just 1 Hitman level setting up a kill. I really want to see what kind of setups they use to complete all three games in under an hour. Thank you for the $50.
All right, so now this is the last level before the final boss, Cortex Castle.
Best dialogue in all of the game, by the way.
Shout outs to the triangular fossa.
So a little cool skip that Jordy just did, and now he switches to 30 to go really fast with the time warp, I believe. What is the official name for it? I don't know if we mentioned that before. We mentioned the tech, but not the name.
Yeah, it's time warp, I guess is what we're calling it, yeah.
Yeah. So now you can see him, like, skip through like he did in the previous levels, and this, like, even without doing all of this, so it's a very notoriously known hard platforming level. I think most people died upwards of like 50 times, like 30-50 times in the casual playthrough. It's basically the perfect yeah, I did as well.
Yeah,
it's like the perfect last level basically.
Yeah, there's some aspects of it where it's like it's kind of broken. Like the very first time you grab Kapunawa, where you do very cool little tech slide jump. Sometimes the platforms just carry you off the map, like through the whole collision and wall directly, and just has you falling infinitely without even having a chance to restart. So the only thing you kind of have to do at that point is to restart the whole level in that regard. So yeah, I don't know if this was mentioned already, but this level is notoriously hard because it prioritizes all 4 masks simultaneously, like back to back, as you're seeing right now. I think my first time with this level, I believe, was around 35 or 40 deaths on stream. And just the way, the technicality and difficulty that you really got, you just got to put in your mind, the fact that you're using 4 masks in a row back to back, it just makes for a very, very nice final gauntlet of the game, pretty much.
That last section was really clean, by the way. I just wanted to point that out. So he kept the mask, a regular Aku mask, by the way, just for that last section. It saves about 15 seconds, just skipping through those lasers instead of waiting for the platform. Really, really well done by Jordy there.
Yeah, some lasers are essentially like, they're insta-kill when they're off bounds, but like when they're inbounds on your way, they're not really insta-kill. So just a little point I wanted to put in.
All right.
So,
This is the actual last boss fight. Finally, we've had 3 last boss fights, but this is the actual last boss fight.
And as we're doing this, it looks like we're almost close to that incentive. So let's make it happen, chat. Let's get the incentive for Hitman 3. We're almost there.
Under 1,200 away.
All right. Yeah, the very hype, very hype moment for a very hype last boss, honestly. I really like this last boss because it has a good callback to for Twak, where basically this fight, all the masks are used against you, like in Twak, basically.
yeah, that's actually what I wanted to point out as well to Murcaz, that this is clearly Wrath of Cortex. It's totally not a new game.
It is Crash 4. It's Crash 4 after all.
I miss the real Crash 4.
Go to Japan.
Yeah, we can go to Japan and get Crash 4, and even get a Crash 5.
True. Oh yeah, speaking of disorienting, the whole screen flips over in the Ika portion when the mask is used against you, so it's quite literally the same gameplay. It's just, you know, a bit disorienting the first time when you're not so used to the mask, but yeah.
We're missing 1K for the Hitman run. We're like a bit under 1K. Let's go. It's right after this run. Come on, guys. We got
almost
another,
there, guys.
We got another like minute here.
And we got one hype jump coming up right now. We can make this happen, chat. So right here is the run killer jump right here. Let's see if Jordy gets it. He got it. All right.
He did. That's really good.
Very nice. Yeah, that jump saves 10 seconds, and if you miss it, your run is basically dead.
So one little thing.
Yeah, get ready for time when I hit the last lab assistant, by the way.
Yeah, get ready with time.
Yeah, time is going to be on the last lab, and we'll call it out.
Yeah, so one thing I'd like to point out is that you can also body slam these yellow platforms to basically just give them one hit rather than jumping on them 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And time.
Really good job, Jordy. You killed
Very
it.
impressive.
Absolutely killed it.
Great showcasing, man.
Thank you.
Really great showcasing, man. That absolutely loved the speedrun of this game, and I couldn't ask for another person like to do it like better than Jordy could.
Yeah, this was amazing. I wanna do a quick shout outs to the whole Crash community for being as supportive, the HD Crash community for being as supportive as it is. We're really just a bunch of guys wanting to push the HD Crash games as far as we can. And if you want to join that Discord server, it's on speedrun.com, and we're always welcome for new people. All of the 5 games in that Discord server, Nitro Fueled, NST 1, 2, and 3, and this is, you're always welcome to try out everything. That's a great community, and thanks to Jordy for showing it off. And if you want to check out more of Jordy, he's on YouTube on Jordy925, I think, and on Twitch for it's Jordy925, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that is his
Amanda.
channel. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone who watched and donated, and the community as well. Everyone's very kind, supportive, and all that stuff. So, yeah, lovely people I've met in the last 4 years or so in my speedrunning. So, yeah, thank you, and thanks for having me on.
Alrighty, chat. That was such an amazing run of Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. Let's give Jordy925 and that fantastic couch a big hand. Thank you guys so much for that. I would like to read off this one specific donation that's been staring me in the face for a little bit here. I've been saving it for a good time. It's $250 from Jesse Green that said, I didn't know that speedrunning existed until I saw some GDQ VODs on YouTube. I instantly fell in love with the organization, cause, community, and great vibes surrounding the whole thing. This is only my third GDQ watching, but my first time donating. It's donations like that that got us to $70,000 and officially got us to the Hitman 3 bonus game. That's right, gamers, you did it. This is Hitman 3 Trilogy Campaign Silent Assassin Suit Only Professional by Yanini. We made it. Congratulations. But before that, we need a few moments to set up, so we'll be right back. Interactive, a publisher of beautiful and inventive games from incredible indie devs around the world, presents Stonefly. Glide your mech through tree canopies, marshes, and prickly briars in this stunning action-adventure RPG from award-winning Flight School Studio, creators of Creature in the Well. Go on missions and patrols in this world's undiscovered naturescapes, take on a variety of bugs out in the wild, harvest minerals, and craft upgrades to your mech. Stun 'em, shoo 'em, get the loot. All set to an original soundtrack from Berlin-based experimental electronic artist Nature Boy Flacco. Stonefly is available now on PC and consoles, currently 20% off on Steam. You can check out the game at stoneflygame.com. Alrighty, and while we get set up in the background here, we're going to read off some more amazing donations from cute chatters like yourselves. Here is a $250 donation from Haidon, who says, well, it's about time to crash into Hitman. I appreciate the level of pun there. Thank you. Here is a $20 donation from Emily Rose, who says, tomorrow I take the last test I need to become a pharmacist. Thank you for being my study buddy this week, GDQ. Happy to donate to MSF, and here's to Hitman. Thank you for the donation, Emily, and best of luck tomorrow on that last test for your pharmacist degree. Alrighty, friends, that is all for me. Thank you all for being an amazing and cute chat. Thanks to the fellow hosts, volunteers, and staff for making all of this happen, and to the amazing runners and couch I got to join for their amazing runs. Being a part of GDQ from this side of the stream was unforgettable. I'll see you all in chat, but until then, here is Sent and Shout for Super Prize Time Segment 9000.
Iron.
Lamp.
Iron.
Lamp.
Iron.
Lamp.
Okay. One of us should probably go.
I should go.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's just I should go.
No.
Yeah, that's just the end of the meme.
Look, Shout. I gotta be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
With you. I've never played a Mass Effect game.
Not a single one.
Not a
never
single
once.
Mass Effect game. No.
Everybody, friends, we have something new and amazing. Along with this prize segment, hi everybody, I am Mr. Game and Shout.
I'm Sent, of course.
And for the first time in recorded history, we have found a video game that I have played that Sent has not. I didn't think there were any left. We have gone through entire catalogs of consoles and found nothing. And yet, in this moment, finally, I've got one on.
I have been defeated, Shout. I must admit defeat. But where I will not admit defeat is in prizes, Shout, because we have so many absolutely amazing prizes to talk about, don't we?
We do, and we actually have a new prize block at the moment. It just opened up with Ratchet and Clank.
Yep.
And it's going to be going all the way through the end of Majora's Mask later tonight. And yeah, a whole new set of prizes. Really looking forward to talking to you about them. Maybe one or two surprises along the way.
Certainly. We got some beautiful stuff here. You got time to get those donations in, but make sure to get them in soon, especially for that Mass Effect 2 incentive. I think we have one for No One Left Behind.
Yes.
Why are we leaving people behind?
Sure. So there is a moment later on in the game of Mass Effect where you can leave behind some of your crew to go faster, basically.
Okay, so why aren't we leaving them behind?
Because you don't leave your crew behind.
Oh, I see.
Right? Like, Shepard does not defeat the collectors alone, right? The whole thing about Mass Effect, like one of the things through the franchise is everybody coming together. We have to work together against this threat. So like leaving your crew behind is completely antithetical.
I
right?
see.
To the whole idea.
So we got to get those donations in so no one's left behind.
Exactly.
I understand now.
I'm counting on you. Shepard is counting on you. You would not want to let down Shepard, Commander.
That is
you know this.
Certainly a big ask. So we've got some amazing prizes for you. From our friends over at Fangamer and Cyan Inc., we have an absolutely beautiful Myst desk mat. Myst is a game that I have played and a game I'm a big fan of, and a desk mat that is still in the plastic.
You know what?
We've got to take it out.
I did not.
Should have thought of that beforehand.
I did not factor how little grip these gloves have. But behold, we have a desk mat. Yeah, this thing is huge.
That thing is massive, actually. That is a huge mouse pad.
That is a lot of desk.
You've got a lot of arm room with this right here.
It's true.
You can make that 360 spin you need to in Valorant, for sure. It's super cool. Absolutely beautiful desk mat. $10 minimum donation. Thank you so much to Fangamer and Cyan Inc. for providing that to us. Now, from a long-time friend of the stream, Count Gooby, we have an absolutely amazing Mario Perler. It's a $5 minimum donation. Let's take a look at it. It's Super Mario. It's, classic. What more could you want from it, Shout?
I could not want anything more from it.
Exactly. It's everything.
Perfect the way it is.
It's everything you need it to be, right? It is Mario. It is a Perler. There's nothing more to say. Thank you so much to Gooby for sending it out to us. From Making It Nerdy here, we have a set of absolutely awesome coasters here with the theme of Legend of Zelda. Of course, we got the Triforce, if you wouldn't mind holding that, Shout. We have... Yep, there we go. We got Din's Ruby. We got Pharaoh's Emerald. And of course, we have Nairu's Sapphire.
How are we doing this?
We are not. We're struggling with the Triforce.
No,
right
we're gonna make some Tetris pieces here. It's fine.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
We've changed genres. That's perfectly fine.
You know what? You gotta adapt. We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
Big shout outs to Making It Nerdy. These look awesome. As a reminder, these are wood burned and then stained pieces of wood.
Absolutely gorgeous.
That is absolutely incredible. I am always envious of how Making It Nerdy can make such amazing stuff out of wood and, of course, out of string.
Oh,
now,
I like this one.
Shout, you're going to have to explain this one to me because to me, this just looks like a 7.
It is a 7. It is an N preceding a 7.
I see.
So this is the Mass Effect N7 string art. This was also provided very graciously by Making It Nerdy. $15 minimum donation gets you in to win this. So in the Mass Effect series, the main character that you play as, Shepard, is a member of the Systems Alliance military. They hold a I don't know if it's as much of a rank or a specialization called N7, which is their highest level of Special Forces operative.
I see. So this is the highest level of string art then?
Yes, exactly. The absolute pinnacle. It takes years of training to reach this perfection in string art. I also want to point out, it's again, a little hard to see here on camera. There's actually 2 levels of string going on here. The black fronting is separated, so there you go. So you can see that the black fronting is off the back. So it's also got a little bit of a 3-dimensional effect as you're walking past it. Absolutely gorgeous. I really wish I could have it. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, it's super amazing. Again, I don't know how Making It Nerdy can do this with just string and nails.
Yeah.
Absolutely absurd. It's a $15 minimum donation from now until the end of Majora's Mask later tonight. Make sure to get those donations in because you certainly want to. Now, we have a couple of other beautiful paintings also available at a $15 minimum donation. From Nest Paints, we have a beautiful painting of the Zora Hall from Majora's Mask right there. That is just a lovely acrylic on canvas, I believe, painting right there. Super great, super memorable. You played Majora's Mask, right, Shout?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you obviously recognize the concert hall of the Zoras, you know, where they play guitar and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And other water music stuff.
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
I've played at least 5 minutes of Majora's Mask. Maybe not much more, but at least 5.
Well, thank you so much to Nest Paints for sending that out. And, I mean, obviously you've played enough of Majora's Mask to understand the moon falling.
Okay, look, I know that the moon falls if you do it wrong. Right? That's the bad end.
That is the bad end. But,
okay.
But this right here, this is a good end because Nest Paints has also sent us a beautiful painting of the Oath to Order. The whole point of the game is, of course, to free the 4 giants of Termina so that they can unite together and stop the moon from falling so that Link can defeat the Skull Kid.
Gotcha.
And, you know, prevent the influence of Majora's Mask from destroying the world.
So why is it called the Oath to Order?
I believe the giants, agreed to an ancient order where if the world was ever in trouble that, you know, they would combine their powers to save it.
Okay. I'm glad you actually knew that.
I might just be making things up. Who knows?
You're a speedrunner. I don't always trust speedrunners to know lore.
You think I've paid attention to the Majora's Mask story. Both of those are a $15 minimum donation from now until the end of Majora's Mask. Make sure to get your donations in. Now, speaking of Majora's Mask, Shout, we've got something so beautiful over here. I got to wear gloves.
Yeah, this is what's going on with the Mickey Mouse mode here.
This is why we're in Mickey Mouse mode, because from Sasha R. Jones, we have this absolutely beautiful moonrise metal print. Like, look at it.
Yeah, we are terrified to touch this with our actual skin.
No smudging here, or no oils there for sure, because this is incredible. I love the composition of this. You got Link looking up at the Skull Kid in this twisted evil form with Majora's Mask on. If there's any doubt, by the way, that this is not printed on metal, just flip it around real quick. Yeah. Solid metal piece right there.
Watch as we annoy our camera people.
Watch as we annoy our camera people with glare. But seriously, this is absolutely stunning. Thank you so much, Sasha, for sending it out. It's a $20 minimum donation for now until the end of Majora's Mask. Only a $20 donation. How could you not get a donation in? Now, from Esclair Studios, who we saw a lovely clock and a shadow box from before, we have this absolutely incredible Ocarina of Time shadow box. I love this.
It is
so
so
much.
good.
Yeah, you got, it's got a bit of a 3D effect, as you can see. It's made entirely of paper, by the way. Yeah, this is just colored paper. We've got, Link with the Master Sword and the Hylian Shield and the Ocarina sitting on a stump next to the Deku Tree. And then, it goes up and off into the distance. You see Kakariko Village. You see Hyrule Castle Town. You see Death Mountain looming above it all. It's beautiful. I love this Shout. And you know what? It's also somehow only a $20 minimum donation from now until the end of Majora's Mask.
I don't know what we were thinking.
I don't know what we were thinking, but I know what you should be thinking right now, and that's I should donate $20.
Absolutely.
You certainly should. Huge shout outs to Esclair Studios. Thank you so much for sending that out to us. Now from Megan Duncan, I think we have an absolutely beautiful piece of Perler art. Shout, I know you love this.
No,
Go for
so
it.
this is the second one of these that we've had from Megan Duncan. Thank you so much for sending these in. $25 minimum donation gets you in to win this. So we have miniature Perler beads, which is why you've got the fine level of detail in the mask itself. And then the background is just this wonderfully dynamic paint swirl in this metallic gold. It looks absolutely stunning.
I love the background on this because it really does have like a stellar look to it, right? That
Oh,
looks like the
absolutely.
surface of the moon with all the craters.
Well, and also calling out to, the Legend of Zelda gold cartridges that used to be the tradition there.
Right.
So the imagery is, I love this. I cannot get over these Perler paintings that Megan sent us. Thank you so much. $25 minimum donation on this.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Megan. Now, we also have another painting available for $25. This one might be a little different because it's right behind our heads if we zoom up a little bit. And, hey, it looks pretty cool. It's an exploding galaxy painting sent to us by the one other Steve. There's only one other Steve. This is the one other Steve. And I mean, look, it's a pretty cool painting, but hold on. Let me
we gotta make this better.
Yeah, let me just get the lights.
I'm going to ask the producers to turn off the lights over in the booth there as well, because I forgot to ask them about that before this segment. It's all good.
That's fine. I'm sure it will look great regardless. Let's just take a look at that. That is stunning. So the frame of this painting has a bunch of LED blacklight strips surrounding it on the inside.
Yes.
So they light up the painting itself. The painting itself done with photosensitive material that shows up under a blacklight. And it really just kind of looks like in a galaxy exploding out of nothingness.
Now, the other thing that I noticed about this when we were setting it up right now is next to the row of blacklight LEDs, there is a strip of phosphorescent, what looks like paint or tape. So not only does the painting itself continue to glow even when the lights are off, but there's also a halo lighting element around the inside of the frame that is also casting light back down on it. So even after the black light is off, even, if this is running and then, God forbid the power goes out, it's still going to be looking amazing.
Indeed. Yeah, we unplugged it a few times in the studio and noticed, wait a minute, it's still glowing.
I know.
It was really cool. Huge shout outs to the one other Steve for sending this out to us. This is so far above and beyond my expectations for this painting. It's just amazing.
It's gorgeous.
This is only a $25 minimum donation from now until the end of Majora's Mask. So get those donations in. Get them in soon. But you know what? There might be something behind that shout.
Oh.
There's always prizes everywhere,
I have learned my lesson about that.
You indeed have. So why don't we just disconnect this here real quick.
All right, so you can see what I was saying about the glow, by the way.
Still got a residual glow on
right,
it. But
and
let's
then-
just very carefully take this down.
Do, 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 do.
All right. And we might just have a lovely Skytech Gaming Mark IX custom gaming PC back there. It's here. It is beautiful in all of its RGB glory, for sure. This is an amazing piece. Shout, I know you are waiting until a little bit later in the week to nerd out about that case and its construction.
Oh, yes.
Shout went on like a 20-minute tangent when we got it out of the box about how much he loved that case.
I'm very happy about a lot of the detail that has gone into this and like the work that Skytech Gaming has put into making this something really good. The specs on this were amazing. We knew that it was going to be an absolute rocket coming in. 5800X CPU, 3070 Ti graphics card, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, 32 gigs of RAM. We knew that this thing was going to be a little nuclear reactor.
For sure.
But actually, like seeing the build that's into it, the case that it's in, I am absolutely gushing about this.
Shout is so excited about it. As a reminder, it's one of our grand prizes for the event. That means you need to donate at least $250 cumulatively throughout the event. So if you donate $25, you're going to get entered into everything we just talked about, including things like this absolutely amazing exploding galaxies print we just saw. It's still glowing a little.
Like, I don't know if you can see that. It's still going.
It's still going. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It goes for a while. It's super cool. And if you get $250 cumulatively throughout the event shout, you're of course going to get entered into our other amazing grand prize, right?
Exactly. Thanks to our friends over at Heroic Replicas, they have stepped up once again. $250 cumulative throughout the course of the week. Get you entered to win a custom heroic replica of your choice. There are, I think it was 18 to choose from?
18 different choices.
Full list is available on the website. Go to gamesdonequick.com, head to the tracker, or just click on the prizes link that should be up there in the top left of your screen.
Somewhere up there.
Yeah, it's his side of the screen. You have a variety of items to choose from. A ton of things from The Legend of Zelda, Master Sword, Hylian Shield, the Goddess Sword, the, the Fierce Deity Sword I'm thinking of.
The Chris Sword from the animated cartoon.
The
Like,
Chris
come on.
Sword. If you're into other cartoons, you've got the Sword of Omen from Thundercats. You've got, they schooled me about it yesterday. Was it the Sword of Power from He-Man? I think I forgot.
Good enough. Good enough, Josh.
so
He-Man's Sword of Power. We'll take it.
Okay, there we go, right? It's within a rounding error. The Megaton Hammer, the Zora Guitar, a ton of really amazing options. Again, you can see the whole thing, gamesdonequick.com. Click on the link for prizes. That'll have the list of options to choose from, as well as where you can see pictures of all of those. $250 cumulative throughout the marathon get you entered to win.
Get you entered to win both for sure. Now, before we go, Shout, there's one more thing we should talk about. That is the special opportunity that we have here at Games Done Quick, because throughout the month of July, we are donating all of the revenue from subs and bits, minus what we need to pay for taxes, right back to MSF, right back to charity.
That is true. And if you have Amazon Prime, that means that you have Prime Gaming.
Indeed you do.
And you get to subscribe to one channel for free every month. And you subscribe to that channel, you get access to things like subscriber-only chat. You get things like access to our new emotes. I'm going to try and get this out. And you're supporting the charity. So please, if you have Prime Gaming, consider dropping that in our direction. We'd be grateful.
Get that out there. Anyway, that sounds like all of the time we're going to have Shout. These are some amazing prizes. As always, head over to gamesdonequick.com. Check out the tracker. It's got all the information you need. I've been Sent. He's been Shout. And we're going to sit here, and we hope you do too, because coming up, we got Hitman. You don't want to miss it.
See ya.
Thank you so much, Sent and Game & Shout, for that fantastic prize segment. I am Nerdy Excursions. I will be with you folks for the next few runs. I am so hyped. We have met that Hitman 3 bonus run. I don't want to waste a minute. Let's get right to it. Take it away, Yanini.